You checked your phone for 30 seconds. You finished one sentence of your conversation. You stirred the pot on the stove. Completely normal, completely invisible, and completely recorded. Your baby's brain does not experience a brief absence the way your adult brain does. To the infant nervous system, gone is gone, and the response begins within seconds of the disappearance. This is not a guilt trip. This is the most important piece of infant brain science most parents never hear, and understanding it changes everything about how you show up every day. Because what happens in your baby's brain during those ordinary, brief moments of inattention is not ordinary at all. It is shaping circuitry that will run their emotional life for decades. I want to take you through exactly what happens second by second inside the infant brain when a caregiver becomes unavailable. What you learn today, you cannot unlearn. It will stay with you. Before we go any further, please subscribe and hit the bell icon below right now. Every week we bring you infant brain science that changes how you parent, and you do not want to miss a single one. Welcome to Tiny Minds Talks. Today, we are going into the neuroscience of infant attention needs, the full picture of what ignoring your baby actually does to a developing brain. And critically, this is not about making you afraid to exist as a person separate from your baby. It is about understanding thresholds, patterns, and the single most powerful repair tool you have. To understand why even brief inattention registers in the infant brain, you need one foundational concept. The infant nervous system does not come pre-regulated. It cannot regulate itself. From birth, your baby's nervous system is in a state of co-regulation. It literally borrows regulatory capacity from your own nervous system to maintain basic physiological balance. Dr. Alan Shore at UCLA calls this right brain to right brain communication. Your emotional brain state transmits directly to your baby's emotional brain state through nonverbal channels. This transmission happens continuously when you are emotionally present. When you are physically present but emotionally absent, on your phone, lost in thought, the transmission weakens or stops. The infant nervous system interprets the loss of that regulatory current as a survival signal, not metaphorically, neurochemically. The stress response activates because the life support system just went offline. The stress hormone cortisol begins rising, heart rate increases, the vigilance system activates, all of this from a brief absence before any visible behavior change has even occurred. This means your baby is already physiologically responding to your absence before they start crying. The cry is not the beginning of the response. It is a late-stage signal of a response already underway. Most parents learn to respond when the cry starts. The science says the nervous system needed the response earlier, not to make you feel bad, to help you understand the real timeline. And the way you read that early signal is not by waiting for a cry. It is by watching for the subtle shift from settled to alert, the slight widening of eyes, the stilling of movement, the held breath. Reading those early signals and responding, even with just your voice, before the full stress response escalates, is one of the highest leverage parenting skills that exists. Now, let us be precise about one thing. Brief inattention is not the problem. Chronic, unpatterned, non-repaired inattention is the problem. The difference is enormous. A single instance of inattention resolved by repair has almost no lasting negative impact. It's the pattern that the brain wires. Repeated patterns become structural brain architecture. Harvard's Center on the Developing Child found that chronic, unpredictable caregiver unavailability produces a measurably different stress regulation architecture than both consistent presence and consistent absence. The brain that forms around chronic, unpredictable availability develops a hypervigilant default state, the nervous system set permanently to a slightly higher than necessary alert level. That hypervigilant default state is the nervous system's most rational adaptation to an unpredictable attachment environment. It's intelligent biology, but it comes with significant long-term costs. Those long-term costs include elevated baseline anxiety, difficulty self-soothing in adulthood, a strong pull toward people-pleasing behaviors, and hypersensitivity to perceived rejection or abandonment. These are not character flaws. They are nervous system adaptations formed in infancy. The adult who cannot self-soothe, who panics when a text goes unanswered, that pattern often began here. The amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, is significantly larger and more reactive in children raised with chronic, unpredictable caregiver availability. This is measurable under brain imaging. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for emotional regulation, decision-making, and impulse control, shows reduced connectivity in the same population. The architecture of self-control altered. These are not permanent outcomes. Neuroplasticity means change is always possible, but the earlier the patterns shift, the less rewriting the brain has to do later in life. Earlier is always better. In 1975, Dr. Ed Tronick ran one of the most important and most replicated experiments in all of developmental psychology. It's called the still face experiment. Let me walk you through exactly what happened. Phase 1. A parent and baby engaged in normal, warm, face-to-face interaction for a few minutes. The baby was smiling, vocalizing, reaching, making eye contact, fully connected and regulated. Phase 2. The parent was asked to make their face completely expressionless, blank, no emotion, no response, still, just physically present but emotionally completely gone. Within 8 seconds, the baby began showing distress signals, not after 2 minutes, not after 1 minute, 8 seconds into the emotional absence, the infant nervous system was already in crisis. The baby tried everything they had to reconnect. They smiled again, they reached, they vocalized, they pointed, they turned away and turned back. Every single attachment behavior in their toolkit deployed. When none of it worked, the baby collapsed. Not metaphorically, they physically slumped, turned away, withdrew inward. The nervous system, unable to restore co-regulation, shut down outward effort entirely. This is the collapse of the social engagement system, the most evolutionarily sophisticated part of the human nervous system, and it happened within 60 seconds of emotional unavailability. Phase 3. The parent returned to warm emotional engagement, and here's what Tronick found that changed developmental psychology forever. Full recovery took significantly longer than the disruption. This asymmetry, disruption happening fast, recovery happening slow, is one of the most important things you can understand about the infant nervous system and your role within it. This does not mean don't ever look away. It means be aware of how often, for how long, and crucially, whether you are repairing when you return. Repair is the variable that changes everything. Let's talk directly about the phone, because in 2025, the phone is the primary delivery mechanism for the chronic inattention pattern the research warns about, and this needs to be said plainly. In 2023, research published in JAMA Pediatrics, mothers who used smartphones during face-to-face play sessions showed measurably reduced responsiveness, and babies showed measurably reduced positive affect. Your baby cannot distinguish between you choosing the phone and you being unavailable for any other reason. To their nervous system, the signal is the same. The primary attachment figure is not available. The design of smartphones is optimized to capture and hold your attention. It's competing with your baby for your emotional presence, and it's built by teams of engineers to win that competition. This is not about never using your phone around your baby. It's about creating clear, intentional windows where the phone is genuinely away and being fully honest with yourself about how many of those windows currently exist. Research shows that even 10 minutes of focused, present parent interaction, no phone, no distraction, produces stronger neural regulation outcomes than 40 minutes of distracted proximity. 10 minutes, fully present, phone in another room, eye contact, responsive, following their lead. That's the prescription. It's extraordinarily powerful, and it's completely within your reach today. Before we go into the repair protocol, which is the single most important thing in this entire video, I want to pause and ask you to subscribe if you haven't already. Here it is, the single most important thing in this entire video, and it's not be more present, it's repair. Repair is the neurological lever that changes the entire impact of inattention. Dr. Tronick's own follow-up research found that babies whose mothers performed the still face experiment but then returned with warm, attuned, enthusiastic reconnection showed no lasting negative neural outcomes. Let me repeat that because it's the most hopeful sentence in infant neuroscience. Repair done well eliminates the lasting negative impact. The disruption does not determine the outcome, the repair does. But here's the critical nuance. The repair has to be genuine, warm, and emotionally attuned, not perfunctory, not distracted, not a quick glance before going back to the phone, genuinely present reconnection. What does a genuine repair actually look like in practice? It looks like this. You return, you make full eye contact, you acknowledge that you were away, and you bring your full, warm presence back. You do not need to say, sorry, I was on my phone. You just need to arrive, to make your eyes warm, to say something like, I am here now, hello, or simply to let your face do the repair. The return of the attuned face is the most powerful repair tool you have, because face is the primary channel through which the right brain to right brain co-regulation happens. Your face is medicine. Tronick's research also found something extraordinary. Babies who experienced repeated cycles of rupture and repair actually showed higher emotional resilience than babies who experienced no ruptures at all. That is not an excuse for inattention. It is the most profoundly hopeful finding in all of attachment research. The repair itself is a developmental teacher. It builds the resilience that makes humans whole. The child who experiences rupture and repair learns relationships survive hard moments. Connection can be broken and restored. The world is not destroyed by temporary disconnection. That is emotional maturity. The adult who never learned those 3 beliefs struggles through every relationship with terror rather than trust. The foundation was not built, and it was built, or not built, right here in infancy. So the practice is not never be inattentive. The practice is be inattentive less often than you think, for shorter periods than you realize, and repair more skillfully and warmly than you currently do. Let us make this practical. Here are 5 specific Bailey practices that build presence, reduce inattention damage, and strengthen the repair reflex. 5 things you can start today. Practice 1. The transition arrival. Every time you return to your baby after any absence, even 30 seconds, take 2 full seconds to make warm eye contact before doing anything else. 2 seconds of genuine eye contact upon return resets the co-regulation system faster than any other action available to you. It is the quickest neurological reset tool a parent has. Practice 2. The vocal anchor. When you need to be unavailable, announce it before you go. I am going to the kitchen. I will be right back. Your baby cannot understand the words, but the tone creates a preparatory signal. Practice 3. The check-in voice. When you are unavailable in another room, call in every 60 to 90 seconds. I am here. I hear you. Coming soon. That voice resets the vigilance system between visits. Practice 4. The conscious return. When you come back from a phone session near your baby, take 1 breath, put the phone down, and make 3 seconds of warm, full eye contact connection before resuming anything. Practice 5. The presence window. Once daily, set a specific 10-minute window, marked by a timer if needed, where the phone is in another room and you are fully, completely, only with your baby. These 5 practices do not require you to become a different person. They require 5 small behavioral shifts that together significantly change the inattention pattern your baby experiences daily. And on the days when none of the 5 happen, when it was just a survival day and presence was not possible at the level you wanted, what do? You do practice 6, the honest repair. The honest repair is simply this. At the end of a hard day, you come back to your baby, make eye contact, be fully warm and present for 5 to 10 minutes, and let your genuine presence do the work. I want to give you one final complete picture of what this all means for you, not as information, but as a shift in how you see every ordinary moment of your day with your baby. Your baby's nervous system is not a passive receiver. It is an active, hungry, incredibly sophisticated scanner, constantly reading your availability, your warmth, and your readiness to reconnect. Every moment of your day near your baby is being read and registered and wired into an ongoing assessment. Is this world safe? Is this relationship reliable? Am I worthy of attention? Do I matter? You are not just a caregiver. You are the primary architect of your baby's first answers to the most fundamental questions they will ever ask about themselves and about the world. That is not a burden. That is the most important thing you will ever do. It's also already happening, whether you are aware of it or not. Awareness is what changes the quality of what gets built. The parent who knows that their face is medicine, that repair is a teacher, that co-regulation is happening right now, that parent does parent the same way as the one who does not know. And I want to say something directly and clearly to any parent carrying guilt right now. Guilt is looking backward. The brain does not grow in the past. It grows in what happens next. What you do in the next interaction with your baby is more neurologically powerful than what you did in the last 10,000. The brain always responds most strongly to what is happening right now. So if you have been on your phone more than you wanted, if today was a survival day, if the last week was hard, none of that determines the outcome. What you do next determines the outcome. Go be with your baby right now after this video ends. Make eye contact, let your face say, I see you, you matter, I am here. Your nervous system will speak directly to theirs. It will know. The science is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to be predominantly present, consistently repairing, and occasionally brilliant. That is achievable. That is enough. That is more than enough. If this video gave you one thing, one new way of seeing a moment with your baby, please share it. Every parent deserves to understand this. Every baby deserves a parent who does. Tell me in the comments, what was the moment in this video that hit differently for you? Was it the 8 seconds of the still face, the repair research, something else? I read every comment. Subscribe for new infant brain science every week. Thank you for being a parent who wants to understand. Thank you for showing up for your baby by showing up here. See you next week.